Good morning, Busy Bees. It's Tuesday, March 17th. Here's your morning news rundown in under 5 minutes. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those who celebrate. The war on Iran continues as President Trump pressures NATO members and allies to join the strikes in the Strait of Hormuz to reopen that avenue to transport oil. Many allies have flat out said no, we're not helping, including France. Uh, I think they're willing to feel the pain of the pump at this point to give Trump a definitive no. He doesn't like that answer. He tends to start more trouble when people tell him no. He doesn't do well with that. But it's time we tell him no, and it's time that Congress pulls the trigger on some type of sanctions or impeachment. Something needs to happen. Will it happen? I don't think so, but I always try to have hope that people will do the right thing. Maybe that's my bad trait, that I have hope that people will do the right thing. He also stated that he will decide when the war ends because he'll just feel it in his bones. I didn't know Trump was psychic, so I guess Donald, call me now, Trump will take calls so you can have a psychic reading because he'll just feel it in his bones when things need to happen. More than 1 million people have been displaced in Lebanon as Israel is putting boots on the grounds there to try to expand the war and cause more trouble. I don't know what's happening here. They're trying to draw in more people into this war. I'm sure that they have a reason. I don't know what that is, nor do I care. I care about our troops here in the United States withdrawing and coming home safely, and we don't have any more death and injuries to our military in a war that shouldn't involve us, in my opinion. Yeah, that's it on that. The SAVE Act is continuing to be pushed by Donald Trump and his regime. This will, this will just try to disenfranchise many voters. They want people to stay home. They want to make it hard for you to vote. They want to make it, that you're on the line hours hours and hours and hours. They want to make it that you have to present, your pubic hairs along with identification and DNA samples of why you should be here in the United States and are you legally here. Like I don't. It's already strict. You have, to register to vote, you have to prove you're a citizen. So that's number one. Number two is, let's just say you have to present identification. Okay, so you have your ID in there. Then there's their own records to match against the voting record. Um, not many people have a passport. I currently do not have a passport. My passport expired. I haven't redone it yet, and yeah, I don't have one. So I am married. My name is hyphenated. It does not match my birth certificate in its entirety. So what? Now I can't vote in the upcoming elections. Do you see how? Do you see the problems that this is going to cause? But they don't care because they need an election to steal again. Florida has passed its own version of the SAVE Act titled HB 991, a bill focused on voting procedures. The legislation includes provisions aimed at strengthening voter eligibility verification, according to them. It also addresses how election data is managed, reviewed, and is accessed by state officials. Some provisions are seen as aligning with elements of the federal SAVE Act, particularly around citizen verification requirements. Supporters say the measure strengthens election integrity. We already had that here until the last election. Again, I'll repeat that. Laila Kordia was released. Was the last protester to be released, the Columbia protest here in New York. And we're happy that she's home after a year in Texas. And that's your morning news rundown. Stay smart, stay safe, stay informed. Like, share, and follow if you can.